Leave a glass in your garden unattended and return after 2 days, picking it up. How do you think it will look like? Do you think it will be cleaner than you left it? Or dirtier? How about broken even, as it fell, the wind threw it somewhere? Now, the natural tendency is for things to get worse. I know this is a very strong statement, but bear with me, there's a lot to unpack here. If we leave things to be without any effort put into them, the natural tendency is that they get dirty, rotten, get sick, and they die. Decay is the natural tendency. And sure, we all go through a progression of growth first, but eventually it's decay. We keep alive because the heart is pumping, we're having food and drinking water, the blood keeps going. There is a constant energy going on within us to make sure that we are alive. The moment that we stop the energy from flowing, life stagnates and we die. That's because life is a flow. It is a flow of energy constantly exchanging, be it consciously or not consciously. If we draw back, life stops. This is how it works. Do nothing, let things on their own without any single effort, and decay appears. Now, this decay is actually the blocking of life energy for us, because that is what it is. For life, there is this constant exchange with life to allow this flow to happen. And the moment that we withdraw from life by stopping the energy from flowing, then death comes. This is important to understand not only for spiritual growth, but for anything, that life happens through this exchange. That if we stop the exchange, things fade away. And just to keep things as they are takes energy from us. Just to sustain our lives as they are takes energy from us. And this also means that if we want to improve our lives, that requires even more energy of us to have a bigger exchange with life, so more life gets to flow through. So stop something will go down. Stop going to the gym, you will not be fit anymore. Something's gonna happen with your physical and mental and emotional well-being. And sometimes it is okay that something drops. Sometimes there are things that are not good for us that we're doing and that we need to stop doing them. And by merely stop doing them, we get them out of our lives, because the not putting effort into them means that they will decay. Sustaining and improving life takes energy. Life is energy. Now, from this statement, we can come to 3 points that I would like to share with you here. The first thing is that there is no such thing as stagnation. There is only expansion and contraction. Now, impermanence is the only constant. Nothing stays because life keeps moving. From this understanding is coming the point that when we feel stuck and stagnant, we're not exactly stable, we are actually regressing, because we are in a universe that is always expanding. If we're not expanding with it, we're going against it. There is only movement, there is no standing still. When there's expansion, we're giving much of ourselves away, giving much of our own energy for that expansion to happen. Whereas when we are contracting, we're not giving enough. What we're giving is definitely not enough to put us on the path of progression. Which brings me to a reflection I would like to share here with you today, which is the question of how is your relationship with life itself? How is your current exchange with life? Are you giving much of it to life, or are you holding back from life? Everything is relationships, and we have our relationship with ourselves and relationship with existence. how are we relating to life? The second point is that we need to make peace with the idea of work. We're living in a time and place where we are fed up with the idea of work. It feels there's so much commitment and demands and nothing makes sense, and I get it. We live in a society that is always busy, created a bunch of processes that really don't make sense. And when I say making peace with work, I don't mean make sense with the nonsense, but with the idea that work is actually necessary, because this exchange of energy with life itself is what allows life to pervade. There is no such thing as no exchanges. We have to constantly exchange. That is the nature of life, and if we don't do it, we get stagnant and we start decaying. That's how we get confused and stuck, because we start disconnecting with the flow of life itself. Now, what is the point here is to reflect on our relationship with work, because many of us have issues with the idea of work due to the relationships our parents had with work. Many of us grew up to parents that struggled with work, didn't like what they did, were stressed, or because of their work they were never home. Maybe your family had a lot of money, but that also meant that your parents were never around, so there was not a nurturing environment. We have all these negative associations that we have with work that were created mainly unconsciously, that are not even about our relationship and our experiences with work as much as what we experienced at home, and then we took it, internalized it within ourselves. So the reflection here for this point for you today is, what is your relationship with work? And where do those stories come from? Is it more about what you experienced in your parents, in your family? Are these stories your parents' stories, or are they yours? What are the wounds that you're carrying about work? And do they even make sense? Are they true? The third point is the understanding that life does not happen to you. Life happens through you. Everything is relationships, and the relationship with life is a crucial one. So how is that relationship with life? You're giving and you're receiving from life, your ability to allow life in and allow it out through any type of energy and effort from your side. How is that relationship going? I get it that we're all exhausted of putting effort on things, of this society that is always so busy. We have had enough of it. And this is the part that is beautiful in this point, that it is about allowing it to flow through us, which many times means letting go of the things that are not allowing life to flow through. And it can be points of view, perspectives, and beliefs, emotions that are weighting us down and are holding ourselves back from giving more to life. So creating a more friendly relationship with life itself, where you can give and receive, allow life in and give back. So in this topic of allowing and letting things go, sometimes it is about our habits. What is it that is not cultivating life from flowing through us? Maybe we are too busy, too much on social media, watching too many news, not eating well or overeating, and realizing what is it that we need to shape, because that is actually disconnecting us from life. For this third point, the reflection is, what are you too full of? What are you doing too much of that is actually not contributing of your life, that is time to let go? What is it that is time to shift so you can be more present, more connected, more loving? Create space for life to flow through you. So let's recap. Point 1, there is no such thing as a stagnation. There is only expansion and contraction. And my point here is for you to reflect on, how is your relationship with life? Are you giving your best, or are you holding it back? The second point is, we need to make peace with work. And the question here is, how is your relationship with work and where does it come from? Is it really about your own work experiences, or are you taking in what you saw at home with your parents into your life and replicating those stories? Point number 3, life does not happen to you, life happens through you. So make space for it to flow through by letting go of what that you're doing that is not serving you. I hope this video brought some sweet insights about how to be living better in co-creation with life for your own spiritual development and soul fulfillment. To learn more about spiritual growth, get your free guide, What is Spiritual Growth? You'll find the link in the video description below. I am Aline Ra M, spiritual guide, healer, teacher, and I thank you for sharing your time and energy with me today.